Hello, and welcome to this show. My name is Miguel Tenorio.
And I'm Miss Mapp.
Welcome to
welcome to
Geometry.
Geometry.
All right.
So let's talk a little bit about myself. Some of my hobbies are traveling, completing puzzles, and any new adventure. Some of my favorite things, a movie way back in the day, the 80s, The Beaches, was one of my favorite movies. My favorite TV show, Golden Girls. It is a classic. I love to listen to R&B. My favorite drink is actually water. Favorite food is any Asian cuisine, Japanese, Chinese, Thai. I love anything from that continent. Some of my school stats, I taught for 3 years in Decatur, Georgia. I also have been teaching for 14 years here in the Santa Clarita Valley, all at West Ranch High School. I graduated from Stone Mountain High School in Stone Mountain, Georgia. With my high school diploma, I received my bachelor's degree from Florida A&M University in mathematics education. I received my master's degree from Georgia State University in Atlanta, Georgia, where I received my degree in special education, specializing in learning and behavior disabilities. And currently, some of the things that I'm playing, Words with Friends, it never gets old. Watching a TV show called Packed to the Rafters. Eating, probably not enough. I've realized that I forget to eat sometimes just sitting at home. And reading a book called Let's Talk About Race.
All right. Now, your child's schedule might say Mr. Echeverria, but long story short, my middle name and last name were switched on my birth certificate, so I'm actually Mr. Tenorio. Some of my hobbies include playing the guitar, archery, video games of all sorts, cooking, and of course, being the tech-savvy teacher that I am. Some of my favorite movies and TV shows and whatnot, I love Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Parks and Rec and Brooklyn Nine-Nine are such amazing, amazing comedies. In terms of music, I love rock and roll, jazz, video game music. I will listen to everything at least once, but those are like my go-to genres. In terms of beverages, I absolutely love green tea. Any peach flavored tea is my absolute favorite, which of course goes with me being called Mr. T. And of course, in terms of food, anything cookies and cream, my absolute favorite. And I always love good Mexican home-cooked food. In terms of my background in education, this is my 6th year teaching, overall my 5th year at West Ranch. I graduated from California Lutheran University, and I loved it so much. I got my bachelor's, my teaching credential, and got my master's. We'll see if I hit the PhD and hit the Grand Slam. And right now, I'm currently playing Ghost of Tsushima. It's a video game. And watching a couple of different animes, just, here and there whenever I can. In terms of eating, I love eating random things I find online. I see something, I try to recreate it. And of course, trying to, figure out this whole distance learning thing. So I'm reading a lot of books on how to, do distance teaching and how to use technology in the classroom.
All right, so a couple of things about the class. We have our current class schedule here. Hopefully you're a student and you all have already become familiar with that. In-class learning, students report to class 2 or 3 times a week. And right now we are at 3 times a week as long as we are all doing virtual learning. When we go to the hybrid, it does fluctuate between 2 to 3 times a week. While the students are there, they need to participate in the class, participate in the discussions, any activities, projects, and get targeted remediation from the teachers. This class is amazing because we have 2 teachers working with it, one who has a special education degree and one who has a general education degree, and we work together for all of the students. Students will sometimes complete their work in Google Classroom while in class. Some of it may be done while they're outside of class. If they ever need any extra help, they can sign up for that afternoon flex time between 1:40 and 3:30 on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. All they have to do is send an email to either myself or Mr. T, and we will join a Zoom and we will help them out. Now, about the homework, most of the homework that is done are videos. They will be watching the lessons. That is what is called a flipped classroom. So they'll watch the lessons at home, they will come to class, and we will spend the class time practicing what they learned at home. So they will need to watch the videos, take notes, pay attention. Please make sure your students are actually paying attention and they're not just trying to finish the notes to say that they finished them. All right?
Perfect. In terms of grading policies and what we will be doing, assignments that are done in class are worth 30% of the grade. Edpuzzle, which is the platform we're using to give the instructional videos, 10% of their grade. There are questions sprinkled throughout the video, so they do need to answer those as they go through it. And assessments are 60%. Again, just like Ms. Mapp said, this is a flipped classroom, so the instruction is done as homework. The classwork is what the traditional homework used to be. So a lot of it is skill building, practice, and really answering questions and really trying to, as a co-teach team, hit those points that the students might have missed during the lesson. Now, usually there is a final grade percentage, but since we don't know if there will be a final given this year, we will count the final as 2 test scores if that were to happen, so that it doesn't skew the points that badly. In terms of what the students are responsible for, they're just really responsible for staying on top of their assignments and making sure that anything we don't complete in our class session does get finished for homework. And usually we don't end up giving a whole lot of stuff after the class. So it's just really those video lessons.
Yep, absolutely. Next, our class expectations. Some of the supplies that your student will need, of course, a computer, because that's where they will be receiving all of their lessons, calculator, paper, pencil, and pen, and a cell phone or a scanner. If you're having trouble accessing or using materials for the class, please let us know ASAP. The reason we ask for the cell phone or the scanner is because when the students turn in their homework, we need for them to take a picture of their homework with their phone. We prefer that they use something called Cam Scanner, but that's what they're going to be using their phone with so that they can upload those pictures. Plagiarism and cheating. Basically, don't cheat. The students don't need to get help from each other. If they really need help, they need to either ask myself or Mr. T. No copying off of each other, making sure that their work is their own. And that is all they need to be turning it in. Very important. We need everybody to be respectful during our virtual learning. Those Zoom and Google Meets, they have been going amazing. We have had very little, almost zero problems with the students, so they have been doing an amazing job. We want them to keep that up. Just make sure that they're quiet during the lesson, make sure they're patient, they're kind to everybody in the classroom, the peers, the teachers. When they are not speaking, we are asking that they mute themselves, and that way we don't have all of the background noise while we are teaching. And just be careful when posting in that chat, okay?
Perfect. Now, in terms of succeeding in the class, really, we're not going to go through all these bullet points. What really we want to say is that if the student has a question, they need to ask. There has to be communication, both with you and your student, as well as the student with us. And of course, if you have any questions for us, by all means, make sure you reach out to us. And, we're here to help the student succeed. So whatever we can do to help, let us know.
So how to contact us. The best way to contact either one of us is to send us an email. And there's both of our emails. The school phone is there, but neither Mr. T nor myself are working from the school right now. Later on, you will be able to reach us at the school when we go back to school. Also, again, our office hours, 1:40 to 3:30 every afternoon except for Wednesday. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. If it's during school hours, send an email. Make sure if it's your student, make sure they have their name, class period, any other important information. Or even if you're emailing us about your student, make sure you have your student's name, what class maybe they're in with us, and anything that's important. After school, they can send us a Google chat, and then we can respond that way. It's almost like text messaging, or they can still do emails. And let's be real, we both have lives outside of this. So if a message is sent after 9 p.m., most likely we will not respond to that until the next day. Okay, so just be respectful of sending messages and make sure it's within a good amount of time.
And of course, please let us know if you need anything.
We're all here to help support your child.
And we're going to be cheering them on, but they got to make sure they do their work as well.
That's right. Thank you for
so
tuning
much.
in.